So that by no means means that I chose ODPP for the sake of family. But what I firmly believe is that God places us in our spheres of influence for a purpose and for a reason. And what He allows for that particular season of your life is for you to thrive and make something good out of it. Should He deem it fit that you will leave that particular space, He will make arrangements for it. Especially seeing as the apostles, Paul talks of being in places for 3 years and moving about to other places. So um, it's not really for us to be rigid and say, I want to be in this space because it allows me to do one, two, three. Who told you you have the powers to do those things? So unless the Lord leads, your labor would be in vain. As regards the issues of security, of course, it's at the back of my mind. I'm very security conscious as a person first and as a prosecutor. When I was in Mbita, it was a fairly small town. So everyone knew where Madame lives. In the market, I would go, someone would be selling me something and wrapped in a polythene paper. They would have to apologize and say, Madam, please don't arrest me. This is how I operate. They would know Madame Wakot is coming. And for some reason, the fact that it was a small town, I felt constrained. And the DCIO had to somehow give me someone to always be patrolling around and a speed dial for security. Now, when I came to Nairobi, I'm a small fish in a big in a big lake or in an ocean. So for some reason, unless I put myself in harm's way, I try to limit as much as possible knowledge of what I do. And what has made it easy for us now is the fact that court has become virtual. I am just that person behind the camera when I am in court. So no one would hardly recognize, and then the judicial officer sometimes indulges, we don't have to put our cameras on. So no one really knows what you're doing or what's going on, and I take the liberty not to advertise that this is what I do or speak much about it even in the cyberspace. So that gives me my own personal security measures. But I know there are instances where you know there are files you're dealing with, but the discretion has come in handy in ensuring personal security for me. I don't have to go announcing which cases I'm handling. I would just simply say, yes, I'm dealing with police accountability, that's end. It's for someone to figure out what cases they are. If I'm doing petitions, people are challenging decisions to charge. They could be high-profile cases. But because we've also signed the Official Secrets Act, it helps us to just keep discreet about what you're doing. As regards now family, understanding my entire nature of work enables me to fit into whatever space I need to fit at whatever time. A while back, I remember Senior Patricia came to speak to us and were asking her while she was at Kenya National that now that you're there and there's all this discussion about LGBTQ, how would you, as a person of faith, handle the balance of interest? And she gave us a response that was the fact that in whatever she had done as her honest part, she was comfortable in discharging her duties. And I've seen that, seeing as I handle delegated powers of prosecution, a delegate is a delegate. I cannot assume the powers of my boss. So if he has taken a particular stand on something, mine is to see how to work around his stand without compromising my faith. There is no, of course, the Constitution gives us the safeguard. No one would ask you to outrightly lie or outrightly go against your faith in a manner that is not within the mandate of the office. So once you have signed your contract of employment, you know the mandate. Anything that goes outside that mandate and is against your conscience, you can respectfully disagree, and it might cost you challenges here and there, but it's okay. Once I was in private practice, when our boss required us to come work on Sabbath, but I offered a solution and said, because I cannot come on Saturday to do this work, what if I do my share portion in the course of the week so that by Sabbath I am done with my allocation? And he was more than gracious to offer me a way out. So I think sometimes when we dial